So we're basically on time here. Let me load up the card. Oh, eternal coughing. Let's see here. We want load event. And then we're doing the bluegrass wrestling. There are 4 matches scheduled for tonight's event. We're going to start off with Spaceman Frank Hickey, and he will be facing off against Stu Hart. Then we've got Bronko Nagurski, who will step in the ring with Ray Steele. The founder of bluegrass wrestling, Ed Lewis, will face off against Sputnik Monroe. And then in our main event, we've got Kentucky State title holder, Kentucky State champion, Dirty Dick Reigns, who won it by winning the Battle Royal. He just kind of proclaimed himself the champion, and Ed Lewis decided to run with it after he won that Battle Royal. And he will be defending against Billy Sandow. So those are our 4 matches for this evening. I've still got a tiny bit of a cough, which is pretty much the default state of existence for me these days. So I apologize in advance for the coughing. But let's get down to ringside as Frank Hickey takes on Stu Hart. And is this... Let me... I don't know why, but every time it likes to default to no audio in my OBS, and I don't know why. All right, let's roll for some initiative here. That looks like it is still not picking up the audio. I don't know what the hell is going on. That should do it. And nope, of course not. I do not know why it is not working. Anywho, oh well. And it looks like Frank Hickey has won the initial lockup and takes control of the match, blasting Stu Hart with a shoulder smash. Stu Hart is hurt as Hickey got all of that shoulder smash. Frank Hickey grabs the arm, twists it around. Brutal arm wringer by Frank Hickey. Stu Hart is dazed as Hickey transitions into an armbar. This is an agility move. He does not have the agility. So as Hickey tries to bring Hart down with the armbar, Hart is able to slip out, and Hickey just kind of hits the mat all by himself. And Stu Hart is now in control, locking on a leg scissors neck lock. And the Spaceman, able to counter it, pops his head right out and is on the attack with a big punch to the face as Stu Hart gets back to his feet here. He caught Hart pretty good, but Hart not going to let it slow him down. He continues his attack, blasting Frank Hickey with an elbow smash. They are equal in power, so that is going to work. And Hickey going to show the same sort of tenacity as Hart nails the elbow smash, and Hickey just keeps on moving forward and throws an elbow smash of his own. This is also a power move. They are even. So, and that one caught Stu Hart, knocks him back a little bit. Just enough for Hickey to shoulder smash him once again. And Stu Hart doesn't even take a step back from that shoulder smash. He's in control here. Stu Hart grabbing a wrist lock on Frank Hickey. This is an agility move. It is going to work. And Hickey is hurt as Stu Hart applies pressure on that wrist lock. Hart transitions from the wrist lock into a sleeper hold on the Spaceman. And Stu Hart manages to hurt Frank Hickey. Hickey kind of tries to get away, breaks the sleeper hold, but Stu Hart able to put on a face lock and keep Hickey under control And Hart rides that face lock all the way down to the mat. Stu Hart, as he stands him back up in that face lock, he delivers a brutal fishhook suplex on the spaceman Frank Hickey. Hickey is down. And Hart locks on that sugar hold, that patented sugar hold of Stu Hart. A +3 finisher. So the target is going to be 7 here. If Frank Hickey rolls less than a 7, he will have no choice but to give up. And with a roll of 6, that does it. Stu Hart quickly dispatches Spaceman Frank Hickey. And I do want to record the outcome of the match. And Stu Hart beat Frank Hickey with a sugar hold. Sugar hold submission. That was kind of it wasn't really a squash. I'm going to give that 1 star. Hickey would have 1 fatigue. Hart has 0. And we are going to save this one up. All right. And our next match is Bronko Nagurski taking on Ray Steele. And maybe this one will go longer. Nagurski and Steele lock up. And it's Bronko Nagurski who gets the upper hand on the lockup. Nagurski scoops up Ray Steele with a body slam. That's a power maneuver, and that is going to work. And Ray Steele is down as Bronko Nagurski plants him hard on the mat. And Bronko Nagurski grabs that modified crab hold, and he's got him. He rolls him over. Steele is in trouble here. The target is going to be 4. And the roll is a 4. And just like that, in 2 moves, Bronko Nagurski has defeated Ray Steele in a very, very quick match. Let's add the 1. That way I don't have to do it in my head afterwards. But man, that was a quick one. And Nagurski beat Ray Steele with a modified crab submission. And that was a squash for sure. And Steele had 1. Nagurski had 0. And here we go. Yeah, that was... Wow, says Neil Lau. That one went by really quickly. I was very surprised. I was not expecting that to end like that. Steele has a 5.2 pin rating, so, I mean, even with a +2, it's not very high, so I was expecting a kick out there. But the dice just decided not to work with me. And our next match is Ed Lewis. And he will be taking on Sputnik Monroe in a matchup here. And Lewis, the proprietor of Bluegrass Wrestling. And they lock up in the center of the ring. And Sputnik Monroe is in control. Monroe breaks the lockup and spins Lewis around, raking his back. Lewis is in trouble here, as Monroe going to whip him into the or going to push him into the buckle after raking the back. And that just made Ed Lewis mad, as Ed Lewis rebounds off the buckle, comes back with a boot to the gut on Sputnik Monroe, takes control of the match. And Ed Lewis going to throw Monroe into the ropes. And Monroe bounced off the ropes. Lewis hits him with a back elbow. And Lewis gonna back Monroe into the turnbuckle now. And as they're backing up, Sputnik Monroe able to spin it around. And as they get to the turnbuckle, Monroe hits a punch right to the throat of Ed Lewis. That was dirty by Sputnik Monroe, but effective. And Lewis falls to the mat, clutching his neck. And Monroe nails him with a knee drop. And the knee drop's a choice F maneuver, so It's going to be a level 3 on 4 or less, or a level 2 on 5 or less. I guess Monroe's trying the 5 or less here, and with a roll of 10, Lewis able to roll out of the way of the knee drop and take control of the match. He's going to back Sputnik Monroe into the turnbuckle. And Monroe once again able to turn it around. And this time, instead of punching him in the throat, he rakes the eyes of Ed Lewis. And as Lewis stumbles out of the corner, Monroe picks him up with a body slam. Ed Lewis is in trouble now. He's hurt. As Sputnik Monroe pushes him back and chokes him on the ropes. Ed Lewis is down. And Monroe goes for the cover. This is a target of 2, so he's got to avoid snake eyes. And with a roll of 10, he is successful in avoiding the snake eyes. As Monroe continues his attack with that falling knee drop, he needs a 5 or less. And with a roll of 8, Lewis once again rolls out of the way and takes control of the fight. Ed Lewis applies the jackknife arm scissors on Sputnik Monroe. And Monroe is hurt as Lewis wrenches those arm scissors. Lewis lets up on the arm scissors but keeps control of the arm. And he pushes Sputnik Monroe into the ropes. And as he backs him into the ropes, the referee is quick to come in and break it up. And as they break it up, Lewis able to grab another lockup and take control of the fight. And Lewis once again backs him into the ropes. And once again the referee is in, breaking them up, and Lewis is the quicker of the 2 men. And Lewis with a grapevine and throw on Sputnik Monroe. And Monroe rolls through and is back to his feet and charging at Ed Lewis and slaps him straight in the face. Lewis looking a little dazed there, dazed and confused by that slap to the face by Sputnik Monroe. And now Sputnik Monroe grabs Lewis by the waist, gets him around, picks him up, and attempts to put him down, but Lewis able to drive an elbow back into the head of Sputnik Monroe and break the waist lock before he's able to take him down. And now Ed Lewis grabs a neck yoke on Sputnik Monroe. And now Monroe in trouble in the center of the ring, having his neck cranked there by Ed Lewis. And a target of 3 and a roll of 8. Lewis is able to break out of the neck yoke. And we're adding a fatigue. And Lewis is in control. Lewis grabs that step over toe hold. And now on a roll of 6 or less, Ed Lewis with a level 3 step over toe hold. And with a roll of 10, he is unsuccessful, and Sputnik Monroe kicks him off. And as they're back to their feet, Monroe grabs a lockup and backs Lewis into the ropes. And the referee really comes between them this time. Moves Monroe to the other side of the ring. Won't allow him to step back in. And instructs both men to the center of the ring. We're going to see another lockup here. And Lewis and Monroe lock up. And it's Sputnik Monroe winning the lockup. And blasting Ed Lewis with a beautiful running knee lift. And Lewis is hurt. Now Sputnik Monroe with some clubbing blows. Monroe hurts Lewis, clubbing him with those forearm shots. Lewis picks him up and slams him to the mat. And Ed Lewis pops right back to his feet and punches Sputnik Monroe right in the side of the head with that rabbit punch. Just kind of caught him off guard. And Lewis has Monroe in trouble as those punches connected solidly. And Ed Lewis grabs a double wrist lock on Sputnik Monroe. Monroe is in a lot of trouble. He's in the center of the ring as Lewis cinches up with that double wrist lock. Takes him down, and Monroe is in trouble. The ropes are nowhere in sight. The target is 4, and the roll is a 2. So just like that, Ed Lewis has gotten a submission out of Sputnik Monroe with a double wrist lock. Another fairly quick match. And Ed Lewis beats Sputnik Monroe with the double wrist lock submission. That was, they both had a, I'm going to say that was a 1.5 star match. Lewis gets a 1, and Monroe had 2. And here we are, on to our final match. It is Dick Raines and Billy Sandow. This match is for the Kentucky State title. And Dick Raines is your champion. And here we go. Dick Raines and Billy Sandow lock up in the middle of the ring. And it's Billy Sandow in control of this one. And here we go. We've got an arm lock by Billy Sandow. This is a power maneuver. That is not going to work against Big Dirty Dick Raines. So that is going to be Raines taking over with a double boot to the gut. And that doubles over Billy Sandow. And wow, he's going to try the level 2 move that's going to work on 10 or less here. And with a roll of 8, that is successful. But Billy Sandow able to step out of the way and take control of the fight. Sandow once again tries the arm lock. Dirty Dick Raines pulls his arm right out of there. Dirty Dick Raines grabs an arm bar and begins to choke Billy Sandow with his free hand. Dick Raines not playing fair here, but Billy Sandow doesn't care. Sandow, couple of blows to the gut, and he takes control of the match. And Sandow grabs a standing arm bar on Dirty Dick Raines. Dick Raines able to counter it, and Raines is in control now. Grinding side headlock, gonna put Sandow on the mat with a side headlock here. And Sandow is down and in trouble as Dirty Dick Raines, with a 4 count on the ropes. This is an add 1 maneuver. He could move this up to a finisher level maneuver if he wants to roll disqualification. And I think he's going to do that. He's going to roll his disqualification. And then it will be a level 0 finisher after he finishes choking him. And Derek Bauman is here. Howdy. And with a roll of 11, that is enough to not get disqualified. So Sandow is choked on the ropes as the referee approaches 5. Dirty Dick Raines breaks the hold. Slingshots Sandow off the ropes. Sandow strikes the mat hard, and Dick Raines is going for the cover. Dick Raines can't get the pin here, but that is going to do some damage to Billy Sandow. Yeah, this is a final match. It was a really quick card. We went through 3 matches in like 10 minutes because the dice just decided not to work with me. But Sandow now in trouble as Dirty Dick Raines is on the attack. Dirty Dick Raines with a tornado twist. This is a choice G maneuver. It could be into the turnbuckle or a level 3 move on 7 or lower. That's going to be 10 or lower. That's what he's going to do. And with a roll of 8, he is successful. And now Sandow once again rolling his pin. And Dirty Dick Raines not able to pin Billy Sandow as Sandow kicks out with ease. But Raines still in control of the match. And here's where Dick Raines really shines as he throws Billy Sandow out of the ring. And here we go. The opponent rolls count out. If there's no count out, rolls on level 3 offense. Let's see here. Oh man, I am coughing up a storm here. So Sandow able to counter it on the outside of the ring. Let's see. I think it's this one. Let's take a quick look. Outside the ring is chart 2. So we go here, and as they come out of the ring, Billy Sandow grabs up Dirty Dick Reigns and body slams him on the floor and then rolls back in the ring. Sandow now in control as Reigns is down outside the ring, rolling his count out. He needs a 3 or better, and he gets it with a 4. So just barely able to get back in the ring. And now Billy Sandow is on the attack. Sandow grabs him up with a bear hug. Dirty Dick Reigns needs a 5 or better to kick out, and with a roll of 8, he is successful. He ear claps Billy Sandow, who has no choice but to drop the champ. But Dirty Dick Reigns... Oh, excuse me. So many coughs and just... stupid illness, man. All right, so back to the match. Dirty Dick Reigns ear claps Billy Sandow, who has no choice but to drop him down. But Sandow is still in control of the fight, grabs up a headlock, and takes Dick Reigns to the mat. And Dick Reigns is hurt as Sandow picks him back up with his arm and locks in a standing armbar. Dirty Dick Reigns is dazed as Billy Sandow, with some hand-to-hand combat here, so just smacking him around. Dick Reigns is dazed as Sandow continues the barrage of punches, but Dirty Dick Reigns turtles up a little bit and is able to nail him with a shoulder block to the gut that sends Sandow staggering. And now Dirty Dick Reigns is in control, backs him into the ropes, and as he comes back off, he attempts a clothesline. That's not going to work. Sandow ducks the clothesline, grabs the waist of Dirty Dick Reigns, and uses that momentum to pull him over with a waistlock suplex. Will it be a level 2 or a level 3 move? That's going to depend on the rolling here. It's going to be a level 2 move. He needs to do a 10 or less. And with a roll of 10, he is successful as Dirty Dick Reigns hits the mat after a waistlock suplex by Billy Sandow. Dick Reigns is dazed, and Sandow moves in quickly, nailing a forearm uppercut on the champ, and Dick Reigns is hurt. Sandow now pushing Dick Reigns back into the turnbuckle. And... some boots in the turnbuckle as the referee steps in to break them up. Sandow is apparently kind of frustrated with Dick Reigns here. And Reigns is down, and he's going to roll out of the ring. And Dick Reigns trying to bait Billy Sandow to come out of the ring, but Sandow's not buying it. Sandow waits around. Reigns forced to try to step back in, and as soon as he does, Billy Sandow is all over him. Sandow with an over-the-shoulder arm flip. And that puts Dick Reigns back down on the mat, and Reigns is going to roll right back out of the ring. And this time he's got it. Dirty Dick Reigns is got it. He baits Billy Sandow out of the ring, and Billy Sandow comes out, grabs a ringside chair, and throws it at Dirty Dick Reigns. Sandow might get disqualified here. The referee is yelling at him, and the referee calling for the bell. And just like that, Dirty Dick Reigns has baited Billy Sandow into a disqualification by rolling out of the ring and stalling. Sandow lost his temper, threw a chair at him, and that is gonna do it. Dirty Dick Reigns, many would say with a cheap victory over Billy Sandow, but it's a victory nonetheless. And Dick Reigns remains your Kentucky State Champion. Dick Reigns beat Billy Sandow by disqualification. DQ when Sandow threw a ringside chair at Reigns. They had 4 fatigue between them, so that's a 2-star match. Reigns had 2. Sandow had 2. And there we go. So that was a pretty quick card. I have time to roll a couple of random matches. Let's roll some matches with the old, or with the brand new set that we got coming up that Derek Bauman says he is looking forward to getting, and that they are scheduled to arrive tomorrow. I'm actually looking forward to seeing what people think of them. It's the first time I've done like a big set like this. This was 10 cards. The last set was 6 cards. The upcoming set is 8 cards. So yeah, this is definitely the biggest set I've done and will do, at least for 2023, because the next set will be in the fall, and it will be the last set of 2023. I'm aiming for 2 sets a year. So this is the biggest one I've done, and so I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing what people think of them. Neil got himself a set as well, so I'm also looking forward to seeing what you think of them, Neil. So let's see here. We've got the Bootlegs of Wrestling Fall 2023 set. That's the upcoming set. We want the spring set. So let's get those. Let's do a tag team match with the Grahams. We're going to do Eddie and Jerry Graham. And let's put them in there against the Sharps, since that makes sense. So we got Ben and Mike Sharp. We've got... I'll try to do a little tournament with them. Awesome. I'll be glad to see how that goes. My guess would be that probably Bill Watts or Bill Longson is going to pretty much mop the floor with everybody else. They're pretty rough cards to beat in singles competition. Not impossible, mind you, but pretty rough. Let's go with the default. Let's move off of the vintage charts for this match. Default out of the ring, default def jump. We'll leave the vintage choice situations. I like that one better. But we'll use the default charts for the rest of it. There we go. One more thing. From the fall 6-pack from last fall, I am going to give Bobby Davis to the Golden Grams. He's going to manage the Golden Grams, which he did in real life. So the Golden Grams have a manager. Let's make sure that he is set to a manager. He is. And let's roll to see who starts us out. And it's going to be Dr. Jerry in there with Mike Sharp. Clear that log and let's roll for initiative. And Mike Sharp able to take control of the opening lockup here. And Mike Sharp going to throw Dr. Jerry Graham into the ropes. And Jerry Graham comes off with a surprise pin. And Mike Sharp is going to be rolling his pin. Al, Red Sox fan, is here. Howdy doody. I noticed that the Red Sox won this afternoon. That's good. I was getting concerned because they lost 2 straight games to the Orioles, and I was not super happy about that. I know the Orioles are not as crappy as they once were, but whew, I still judge them poorly. So when we start losing to them, anyway, so Jerry Graham with a sunset flip on Mike Sharp here. And Mike Sharp easily able to kick out of that one. But now Dr. Jerry Graham in control. And Jerry Graham with a ringside object attack. This is a 3-add-1 disqualification. Let's see what he attacked him with. He grabs the timekeeper's bell and just blasts Mike Sharp right upside the head with it. That's going to be a disqualification roll. And with a roll of 2, he is possibly disqualified. Let's actually, I know that you're supposed to roll this ahead of time, but, I mean, let's try it anyway. Rolling the distractor. And Bobby Davis has failed distracting the referee. Who's an Orioles fan? No, they won on Friday, or won on Saturday, lost Friday, won today. Oh, okay. My phone, I get it confused because I get updates on my phone. We don't get any live games here for the Red Sox, so I have to watch it. I have to kind of pay attention to it on the phone, and sometimes I get the updates confused, or I don't. Sometimes it won't give me one, so I'll assume that things are, that I'm getting up-to-date information or that it's for the day for today, and then it turns out it's not. So, but I'm glad that they won twice. That makes me feel a lot better. Um, I'm gonna rematch this. This was ridiculous. Let's go back. We're gonna go. So these two, we're gonna restart this match. Neil is an Orioles fan. Well, I'm sorry that I view your team as as not very good. Um, as long as you like them. I'm sure lots of people hate the Red Sox, and I'm a Red Sox fan, so Anywho, so we're gonna start this match over because that went like all of 3 moves. So let's roll to see who starts the match. And this time it's gonna be Eddie and Ben. We're gonna clear that, and we will roll for some initiative. Pitching has not been good. Yeah. That's kind of been the story for the last 2 seasons for us. That, and we build up good players and then they want better contracts than we're willing to give them. And I totally understand not wanting to sign guys like Mookie Betts for, what is it, 10 or 11 years or whatever he got out of the Dodgers. I mean, I get it. He's going to be way too old to be as productive as he is now. But at the same time, it always sucks to see those kind of players go when they go. So, and it seems like our management just isn't that willing to work with them. It's like they hear that they want these big contracts and they're like, oh, fuck it, go somewhere else. So, a little frustrating there, but what can you do? I'm not running the team, so. And like I said, I know that you don't want to give them all of the, you don't want to sign them for 10 or 11 years when they're already in their late 20s. So, anywho, back to the match, and I'll stop with the baseball. So here we go. We've got Ben Sharp starting us out as he wins the lockup. Ben Sharp grabs up Eddie Graham with a big body slam. That's going to be a power maneuver. They're even, so that is going to work. As Sharp tries to slam him down, he gets him up shoulder height, and Graham scoots out the back and pushes Mike Sharp into the ropes. Or Ben Sharp into the ropes, excuse me. And now Eddie Graham with a big back elbow on Big Ben Sharp here. And Graham on the attack. And Graham drops a big elbow smash on Ben Sharp as Sharp lays on the mat. And now Ben Sharp is hurt. He's going to try tagging out to his brother Mike. And with a roll of 8, that is not going to be successful. As Eddie Graham continues his attack here. Eddie Graham punches him straight in the kidneys. That is not a friendly thing to do, but Ben Sharp able to kind of roll his body around. The blow is glancing, and he takes control of the fight, locking Eddie Graham in a headlock. And Eddie Graham in trouble now. And Graham is going to try tagging out as he's reaching behind Ben Sharp. And he gets it. He tags Dr. Jerry into the match. Dr. Jerry Graham comes in. Jerry Graham unloads with a jumping knee drop on Ben Sharp. We're going to call that a jumping knee lift since he was standing up and he had Eddie Graham in the face lock or the headlock. So there we go. A jumping knee lift on Ben Sharp by Dr. Jerry Graham. And Ben Sharp. Sharp lets go of Eddie Graham, catches the knee and is on the attack. Grabs up Dr. Jerry with a headlock and delivers a punch straight to the head. Jerry Graham pops his head out before the punch can land and attacks with another jumping knee lift. And that's going to hurt Ben Sharp as it finally caught him. And Sharp going to try the tag, not able to do so. And Jerry Graham now choking Ben Sharp on the ropes. And Ben Sharp pushing him off And taking control of the match, Ben Sharp gonna rake the face of Dr. Jerry Graham. Jerry Graham is dazed as Ben Sharp snap mares him to the mat and tags in his brother Mike. And Jerry Graham able to get the upper hand on Mike Sharp as Sharp comes in after the tag. And now Dr. Jerry Graham nails a knee lift on Mike Sharp this time. And Mike Sharp is hurt. Mike Sharp going to go for the tag. Unsuccessful. Dr. Jerry now going to back him into the unfriendly territory. Backs him into his team's corner. And Dr. Jerry and Eddie Graham double team him in the corner. As Eddie Graham is now the legal man after the tag. And Mike Sharp is down. He's going to try to scoot all the way across the ring and make the tag, and he is able to do it. Would you look at that great speed there, kind of scooting around across the ring to make that leaping tag to Mike Sharp as Sharp comes in. And Ben Sharp with a grinding headlock on Eddie Graham. And Graham is dazed. He's going to try to make the tag. He is unsuccessful in doing so. And Ben Sharp backs Graham into the turnbuckle. And Eddie Graham going to reverse them in the turnbuckle and then whip Ben Sharp into the other turnbuckle. And Sharp is in trouble now. But no, Ben Sharp with a big counter there. And he bounces off that buckle and then comes flying out with a big forearm blow to Eddie Graham. Eddie Graham is caught completely off guard. He collapses in the middle of the ring. Ben Sharp going for the pin. Target is 3, roll is a 5, so Eddie Graham able to kick out. But Ben Sharp really in control now, as Ben Sharp waits for Graham to get up and then charges him and hits him with a huge clothesline. We're going to roll some interference by Bobby Davis here. Davis going to roll his interference. And Bobby Davis trips the opposing wrestler. And that is going to do it. Bobby Davis finally has broken up the pinfall. And Davis's wrestler is going to roll on level 2 offense here. So that is going to be Eddie Graham, not Jerry Graham. And Eddie Graham on the attack. And that's going to be a fatigue. I forgot we needed to add the fatigue still. But Eddie Graham with a big elbow smash on Ben Sharp. Ben Sharp able to counter that one. And Sharp with a punch to the ribs on Eddie Graham. And, I meant to roll on defense here. And Graham rolls a counter there. And now Graham blasts him with some forearm shots to the chest. And a level 3 move or a level 2 move. Which will these forearm shots be? Let's see. Whatever the agility is probably the better choice here. So 6 or less. And with a roll of 7, he is unsuccessful. So Ben Sharp absorbs those forearm shots and is able to continue his attack here with an arm wringer takedown on Eddie Graham. Eddie Graham is dazed as Ben Sharp grabs a grinding headlock on Eddie Graham. Graham able to pop his head out and once again attempt that forearm shot to the chest. He needs it's going to be a 6 or better. And with a roll of 7, he doesn't get it. So Ben Sharp on the attack here. Arm wringer takedown by Ben Sharp. And that's going to daze Eddie Graham. And now Ben Sharp going to tag into Mike Sharp. And Mike Sharp with an elbow to the back of the head as Eddie Graham stands up. That is an agility move. And Eddie Graham has the agility. So Graham able to spin out of the way of the elbow and get behind Mike Sharp and push him into the ropes. And as Mike Sharp comes off the ropes, he manages to sunset flip Eddie Graham, and he's got a cover here. Let's see, pin save. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to roll our pin save. And Dr. Jerry Graham can't get in. The referee stops him from getting in. And it's going to count the pin now. And here we go. And with a roll of 9, Eddie Graham is able to kick out. And Mike Sharp continues his attack with a trapezius claw. Let's see. Roll 1 die on rolls of 1 or 6. Use trapezius claw toss. So this is where he puts on the trapezius claw and he like picks him up and kind of tosses him. It's kind of a cool move. I think they have a match on YouTube where he does this, but I'm not entirely sure. I have a DVD of like the best of the Sharp brothers, which is mostly matches against Ricky Dozan and Toyo Nobori from JWA, since a lot of that stuff was kept. But I think they have a couple of matches on YouTube where they're either in singles competition or they're facing an American team, but there isn't very much. Anywho, so we're gonna roll 1 die, and on a roll of 4, he just does the regular trapezius claw, so it's just a regular 3. And Eddie Graham is hurt by that trapezius claw. And Mike Sharp with a kick to the midsection on Eddie Graham. And Eddie Graham gonna try the tag here. And Eddie Graham just barely able to get over and tag Dr. Jerry into the match. Jerry Graham comes in a house of fire and whips Mike Sharp into the ropes. And then follows him in and boots him straight in the solar plexus, knocking the wind out of Mike Sharp. And Dr. Jerry, as Mike Sharp kind of stumbles out of the corner, picks him up with a big body slam and slams him to the mat. And Mike Sharp is down. We're going to roll to see if he can make a tag. And he does. He tags in his brother Ben, as Ben Sharp comes into the ring. A house of fire himself, raking the face of Dr. Jerry Graham, really taking control here. And Jerry Graham is hurt, and now Ben Sharp. Man, I'm just having trouble with the names today. Ben Sharp shoots him off into the ropes, and Sharp hits him with a big knee as Dr. Jerry comes back off the ropes. And there we go. Ben Sharp with a double choke on the ropes as he brings over Dr. Jerry Graham to his corner and drapes him throat first over the ropes as both Ben and Mike grab him and start choking him. We're going to add 1, and then that's a tag to Mike. And now he's going to roll on level 3. And Mike Sharp grabs a hammerlock. And this is a choice F maneuver. So it is going to be an agility maneuver. So 6 or less. And with a roll of 4, he is successful. And Dr. Jerry Graham is dazed. Mike Sharp blasts him with an elbow smash. Dr. Jerry dazed once again, but he is stumbling back towards his corner. Can he make the tag? He absolutely can, as Eddie Graham comes in now. And Eddie Graham comes in and whips Mike Sharp into the turnbuckle. And Mike Sharp able to turn it around and then drive the knee directly into the gut of Eddie Graham. And Mike Sharp now on the attack with a big face ripper on Eddie Graham. Eddie Graham keeps the hands off the face and once again whips him back into the turnbuckle. This time Mike Sharp can't avoid it as Eddie Graham comes rushing in with a big back elbow smash to Mike Sharp as Mike Sharp leans up against the corner after hitting the buckle hard. And Eddie Graham grabs Mike Sharp up and delivers a crushing backbreaker. And Mike Sharp is hurt as Eddie Graham continues the attack with a kidney blow. And he's going to try to make the tag, and he's not able to do so. And Eddie Graham scoops him up and slams him to the mat. We've got a target of 4 here and on a roll of 5. Mike Sharp is just able to kick out as Eddie Graham takes control of the match, or keeps control of the match. And Eddie Graham, you could throw him out of the ring. That's what he's going to do. And no, Mike Sharp can't do anything with it. He hits the floor hard, takes a breather, and then rolls back in. And Eddie Graham swarms all over him as he rolls back into the ring. And Eddie Graham kicks and stomps him as he rolls in near the corner. And Mike Sharp is in trouble. Sharp is hurt. Graham with a big elbow smash on Mike Sharp. Mike Sharp is hurt. He's going to try the tag. And with a roll of 6, he barely manages to touch the hand of his brother Ben Sharp. As Ben Sharp comes in with a big punch to the ribs on Eddie Graham. Eddie Graham parries that masterfully with a big elbow smash on Ben Sharp. That elbow smash floors Ben Sharp as Eddie Graham tags in Jerry Graham. And Jerry goes out and grabs him by the hair and throws him from the ring. And once again, the Graham brothers have control here as Eddie Graham goes down, grabs up Ben Sharp, and throws him back into the ring so that Eddie Graham, or so that Dr. Jerry Graham can continue his attack. And there it is, Dr. Jerry Graham with a sleeper hold. This is a tag team finisher. In tag team matches with Eddie Graham, use the rope guillotine atomic knee drop +3 tag. So here we go. We've got a +3 tag finisher here. So the target is going to be 7. So we are actually going to see a pin save. And he is successful. Mike Sharp able to come in and break up the pin here as Eddie Graham is knocked off by Mike Sharp. But Eddie Graham picks up Ben Sharp and continues the attack here. And now Eddie Graham going to back Ben Sharp up and tie him up far away into the far ropes and choke him. And this is an add 1 maneuver. But it's also a DQ maneuver, so he's going to roll his disqualification. And with a roll of 2, he would be disqualified if Bobby Davis cannot distract him. Did Davis try the distractor already? Yeah, he did. So Bobby Davis can't distract him. So that's going to do it. The referee's going to call it as Eddie Graham is choking Ben Sharp on the ropes. And you can see here that this match ended in doubles as a 1-1. So this could lead to some sort of feud for these teams going forward in non-canon wrestling, apparently. But yeah, so that's it for me really for tonight. My main thing was getting one of the official National Wrestling Commission cards out of the way, and that happened. So that was good. The dice did not work with me there. I ran through like 4 matches in 20 minutes. I went through like 3 matches in 10 minutes or something like that. Mostly just low rolls on kickouts and things. I think one match literally went 2 moves. And then I got to show off some of the Bootlegs of Wrestling cards that I've been working on. Something else that I wanted to bring up about being a possibility. So originally I kind of wanted to pitch this program that I use to Phil Singer games and see what they're, whether they'd be that interested in it. Maybe working with them to do some sort of release for it. But at this point, I don't know. I think they're just invested in online, and that's fine. That if that's what they want to do. But I think what I want to do with this, because I do want to release it for people, But it is work, and I do want to recoup something, and I can't officially sell it. I mean, I could, I guess. But what I want to do is maybe release it on Patreon. Um, it would basically be for $5 a month. You'd get access to the program. You could cancel anytime after the first. You pay your $5 for the first month. You'd be able to download the program. If that's all you ever want from it, you're good to go. You can cancel your thingy. Um, you won't get any updates on it. That kind of thing. Um, But if you continue on the $5 a month, you'd get access to all the updates, all that kind of stuff. And that would help incentivize me to work on it. And then I also wanted to do another tier where you'd get access to my bootlegs in the format for the program. You would not get physical copies. You wouldn't get the artwork that you could use on your own. You would get the cards pre-built for the program. And then I was thinking about doing a higher tier. I need to talk to Warner about this, where you would essentially get every month. I think this tier would be about $15 because I have to pay for the artwork. You would get monthly bootlegs with Warner artwork, and they would be previews for my upcoming physical sets. So basically, you get them early in digital format, not PDF, but digital for the program. And then, of course, if you liked the cards and wanted to play it on the tabletop, you could go ahead and buy a physical set or a PDF set if you wanted to print them yourself or you don't live in the US and you want to save a few bucks that way. But yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking about doing with this. In order to do that, I would have to remove some of, like if I go here, like some of this branding. Obviously, I can't use, I can use it here because I'm not selling it or releasing it. This is just for my use right now. But I'd have to remove the Legends of Wrestling, and if you flip over to the Champions, I'd have to remove that branding. I couldn't use that and sell the program, obviously. Um, but everything else should be fine. I've already stripped out all of the flavor text on the default charts. So if you were to pay for the $5 and download the program, it wouldn't come with any cards. You'd have to make cards, and the charts that it would come with have all the flavor text stripped out. So all they are is like if you go here and I go to default, I'll just show you real quick. Default, and then we'll just do Too Cold Scorpio versus himself, and we'll clear that. Now, if you click on ropes, all it has is um, the mechanics. So all of that, all of the flavor text is stripped out of the default charts, um, and so I'm able to use those without too much. I mean, the program already has a name. It's the FG. Technically, it's the FG Assistant, um, which I probably would use. I don't think using FG Assistant is a big deal. Um, so that's what it would be called. I'd probably have to work with somebody or pay. Maybe I'd throw Warner another $40 or something to do a logo for the program. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but that's kind of my thought for it. I Let me know if you guys are interested in it. If you watch this afterwards, and if you watch this later on, I'm not speaking to the people in the chat right now, but to the people who might watch this after. If you're interested, you can leave a comment. Let me know. I mean, that's just kind of me tossing it around. I think, like I said, the tiers would be $5 for the basic program access. And as long as you paid the $5, you'd have access to any updates that I might make. $10 would get you all my previously released bootlegs. And then $15 would get you all of the other things plus a bootleg card or two every month that would have Warner artwork and be from the upcoming set, I guess you would say. So that's kind of where I'm at. Let me know if that's something that you guys are interested in, and I can work towards that if enough people are interested in it. The thing is that I'd have to get enough people to pay for the Warner artwork up front. Um, so, basically, I think about what would it be? Honestly, only 3 people would have to be interested in it at the $15 level for me to justify doing that. So that's not very many. So, um, but yeah, so that's kind of where things are at. Yeah. Anywho, so that's it for me for now. Just kind of brainstorming now at the end here. Um, but yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, your Sunday, and I will see you again. Hopefully, it won't be several weeks before I do this again, but you never know with my friggin'